Omosefemi Osonitolu joins us now. He's the general manager of S.O.N to discuss what the report you just saw. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Good morning.
Well, very unfortunate incident there, but your men have been there. What did you find when you got there?
Well, when the incident occurred, we activated our emergency response plans. Our response time was about 10 minutes. We moved in with all the stakeholders, and we discovered that there are a lot of people trapped inside the 6-story building that collapsed. The 6-story building that belongs to the Synagogue Church of Nation. And we move in with our sophisticated heavy-duty equipment.
Just a moment, sorry. At what point did you get the call?
Well, we are informed around 1 o'clock.
1
I think 1:05 p.m. And we move in there.
That was on Friday afternoon?
That was on Friday afternoon. We activated the local emergency, and we moved the LASEMA team move in there with all the stakeholders. And we realized that there are a lot of people that were trapped inside it. We used our DELSA, which is a very sophisticated light equipment, to know where people really are. And we tried to centralize our efforts. And with that, we are able to rescue. We put alerts onto the Ministry of Health, the hospitals nearby, and we're able to rescue 140 people. Initially, there was a teething problem because really the church member put up a sort of resistance to allow us to go in.
What kind of resistance?
That they don't need our efforts, that they are equipped, that they know how to do it. To me, it's a crisis, and as a crisis manager, we need to manage that. We had a meeting with them, and we told them our mission and vision and what the state governments represent. And with that, we seek their cooperation, and they started cooperating with us. So that delay our response for about 10 to 20 minutes in trying to sort out a lot of things. And then we move in with the security personnel that condone the area off, and we started the job of the day. And we are able to rescue 140 people alive. And you know, in Lagos State, our tradition is that all victims of disaster will be treated free of charge, and they are responding to treatment. However, it is pertinent to note that as of this morning, we recovered 45 bodies.
From the rubble?
From the rubble. And the rescue operation is still going on. My team are still there. They are still working.
You discovered over 120 people, did you say, alive?
140.
140 people, as at what time?
This morning.
You still found people who were alive as at this morning?
Yes.
Oh dear. What about, you say that do you think that as at now, is rescue work still going on?
Yes, the rescue work is still going on. We are strategic about it. And that is why you discover that we are using a sophisticated equipment they call DELSA. DELSA will try to tell us where people are that are still living, and we will direct our efforts there. So we don't disperse our energy anyhow. And we have heavy duties equipment that are assisting us. Today, we are moving towards the ground zero level.
So you're still hopeful that some people could be alive?
Yes, we are still hopeful.
How many floors was that particular building? 6 floors?
Yes, 6 floors.
What was happening there as at the time of the collapse?
I think they are using the place for a guest house. Some people are there, definitely. A lot of people are living there.
So you're saying that while people were still living in that building, construction work was happening on top of the building?
I think that was what happened.
So what exactly is going to be happening there now?
Well, we are carrying out rescue operation. We are carrying out both rescue and recovery operation.
Well, looking at the situation there, I mean, the initial teething problems that you said you encountered with the church management, did they think that it was a separate country or was not a part of the state? Because one would have thought that all lands within Lagos State will be for Lagos State, right? And then you should have responsibility for everybody there.
Well, to me, I will say that resistance or the teething problem is due to the panicking that is always associated with disaster. Oh, I don't want people to know what is going on. This, is a sort of...
You get that all the time?
Not really. It depends. It depends on situation, and one way or the other, whenever we have that such situation, we will tend to have meeting with them to carry them along and to tell them that we are not hostile to them. That our duty is to save their life, to make sure that things work smoothly, and we did that, and it works for us, and we seek their cooperation.
What comes to mind now is, whether or not people are enlightened in terms of, knowing your responsibilities and the duties that you owe society and because I'm trying to imagine the time you spent trying to convince those people to let you in. Some people could have passed out in that time, or
Definitely.
emergency rescue work could have been going on in that time. Do you think that at any point in time, whenever it is you need to go out for rescue, you'll be going out with security operatives?
Yeah, we do go out with the security operatives. But you see, you have to be very, very careful. You are going there to do something, you won't allow the security people to be using tear gas. Despite that we have security personnel with us, we still need to make sure that we carry people along, which is part of our management, so that there will not be any form of panicking. Because you see, when you are managing disaster, you must make sure that you have enable environment. So you must make sure that you carry both arms along. You should not use force anyhow, unless if need be. And we don't like reaching that stage. When we got there, we are with the security personnel. But we won't allow security personnel to start using tear gas so that people will be running skater, so that it will disturb our job. So the most important thing that we need to do to facilitate our response is to quickly inform them, look, gentlemen, we are here to do this job. You need to cooperate with us. Let us work hand in hand to achieve a goal. We are not an imposer. We are here to assist you people.
Why do you think they were resistant? Because I'm trying to fathom what was going through the minds of those who tried to bar you from rescuing some of these people, knowing full well that you are there to save lives. If that delay hadn't happened, perhaps we would have been able to save more lives than we had now.
Yeah, you see, in my own view, I think they were not well informed. I think that is the reason. And when we informed them about our mission, they cooperate with us. But the cooperation was not that much until the governor now directed that, look, he doesn't want any people in that site, that we have emergency management agency that is well equipped, that could respond to this type of situation.
Which was yesterday. I mean, the government didn't come until yesterday. So you're saying that from Friday till Sunday, you had about, 3 days, nearly 3 days of resistance.
Yes, but we keep on managing the crisis. I was on the ground. I keep on managing them. You get them. Despite that, I have the problem of their resistance. I've enlightened them. They still allow us to work, but not to our full capacity. But you see, I have to manage the situation so that I will not create more problems.
What kind of building was it? I agree it's a church building, but was it occupied by people, or an unoccupied building? People were working at the time of collapse?
People were working at the time of collapse, and some people are living there. They are using it for, I think, from the information I gathered there, they are using it for a guest house.
Any of the survivors, did you speak with any of them?
No, not now.
Not
but
now.
I realize that some media are talking to them. But in my own view, they are still recuperating.
What about your men? Was anyone physically harassed?
Yeah, they were physically harassed. But thank God I was on the ground to manage the situation. The situation is, you need to assist our people, you need to save life, you don't need to create more problem. And that is the purpose of we being a crisis manager.
Who are you working in tandem with, all the other agencies that you're working in tandem with?
We are working with both private organizations and state governments that are concerned. We have the Building Controlling Agency with us. We have the Ministry of Physical Planning with us. We have the Ambulance Services with us. We have the SEMU unit with us. We have the Ministry of Health with us. The Public Works are with us too. The Ministry of Works are with us. And we have various engineers that are working with us. And you can see that at that place, we have a lot of equipment that we are using. Sophisticated light duty equipment, which really assisted us in locating where we will see the casualties.
What
So
about
how long? Sorry, how long are you going to be on that venue for?
Well, until we reach the ground. I'm looking at it that by today we will round up. By the grace of, yes, by the grace of God, by today, because we are moving from one layer to another. You cannot use the heavy duties on them so that we do not compress those people that are still under the rubbles. So we will use the DELSA. It will locate where people are. We will cut in using sophisticated concrete cutting saw, and we call something cut and spreader. We will move in strategically. You see, in this type of operation, you have to be strategically about it so that you do not use those heavy duties to match people under the rubbles or deprive them from getting oxygen. We've made sure that when we got there, we put some point in there that oxygen that can still go in whenever they are, and we're pumping a lot of water in there, and we're pumping a lot of air there. So before we commence our job, and we started moving from one layer to another.